Welcome to the 2022 Lancaster Archery Classic here from Spooky Nook Sports Complex in Manheim, Pennsylvania. As we are nearing the end of our shooting day. Hello everyone, welcome to the broadcast booth. I'm Greg White, sitting alongside Steve Anderson, who his resume is long and distinguished. I mean, 20-time medalist for World Archery, Reading champion, World Archery, World Field champion. Anyway, you know his resume, and we're happy to have him here for our next two matches. And coming up is the Women's Open Pro. And before we get to that, we're going to tell you a little bit about what's going on here in terms of how we got here. The top four qualify after a 660 round, and the ranking ties were broken by 11s, and in this shoot-up, it's a bottom-up format. So four's going to shoot against three, they'll advance to shoot against two, and whoever wins that will advance to shoot against the number one shooter. Now, new for 2022, maximum points available to score in this shoot-up is 136 points because there's a 12 ring, a 1.5 centimeter white dot. Now, you must call for it, but it is available one call per end. So if you look at how many points are available, that's it. No one's gone for the 12 in all four ends. Nothing like that has happened yet, Steve. But we're looking forward to seeing these archers make their way to the field of play. So let's get to the third member of our broadcast team, PJ Riley.
All right, let's kick off the Women's Open Pro Finals here. Bring out our fourth place qualifier, Jyothi Surekha Vennam from India. She's been shooting for 14 years. She is a world champion silver medalist. And our third place qualifier, Tanja Gellenthien from Winchester, Kentucky. She's from Denmark originally, shooting for 13 years. 2019 Classic winner in this division.
Heavy hitters for this Women's Open Pro category. Now, Steve, we started off qualification with 660 points, and then depending on the size of the class and the way the elimination rounds work, for these four shooters to get here, there were a total of 924 points available. And for our fourth place qualifier, Jyothi, she only dropped 14 points. As for Tanja Gellenthien, she only dropped 12 total for the entire weekend.
Yeah, that's just stout shooting. Really tough to get through a 60-arrow qualification round and then, two matches without dropping more than 12 points. Most people are dropping that in the first few ends, Why
are you talking about me like that? All right, so the archers are standing 18 meters or just about 20 yards away from a 40-centimeter target face. It's a three-spot target. The difference with this tournament is that the middle ring, which is normally known as an X in the Vegas shoot, counts as 11. And then there's that 12 spot that's available down there, hovering between the 7 and the 8 ring. So Tanja starts off with a nice 11.
Yeah, Tanja dead center on that first one. Really important to start well. Right? You want to know you're sighted in for the range. Another one, that one's even better. Nearly inside out of that 11 ring.
And when you watch Tanja shoot, you saw quite a bit of bow movement after the shot. It's something we see often with her.
See, Jyothi just hasn't quite found the zero, what I'd call it. She's not sighted in. First two arrows look like good shots, both low and left. Tanja off and running. Oh. That might be the match in this level, truthfully. 2 points so far and possibly more.
11.
There it is.
There we go. Yep. And you can kind of see it on that release. All right, let's get to PJ.
Our archers, Tanja Gellenthien, how you doing?
I'm good.
2019 champion here. How's it feel coming back to the big stage?
It feels awesome. It's been way too long.
Way too long. You feel good? Nerves? Anything?
Yeah, there's a little bit of nerves, but nerves are good.
Your coach just took the last guy all the way to the finals.
Yeah, I feel like he can do it again.
All right, great. Tanja, congratulations on a great weekend. Jyothi, coming from India, have you been to the Classic before?
No, this is my first time here.
First time here. All right, so you make it to the big stage and your first time out. What do you think about that?
I I think I had a great time shooting last 2 days here, and I think I'm going to have a very good time today too.
All right, great. You look very comfortable. After our first end, we have a 33-31 lead for Tanja.
So, Steve, we saw Jyothi has, looks like some weights on the back of her riser on that. Is that a Hoyt Invicta?
Yeah, that's an Invicta, and I noticed, yeah, she does have some stuff stacked there on the back. Some people just like to get the mass weight up without actually moving that to the end of the stabilizer, so literally just making the bow heavier.
Gellenthien, is she a thumb button shooter?
I think so, yeah. She's got a good shot going right now. Jyothi probably just caught that one.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool to see a number of the Indian team members making the trek out, and they stopped here before they head out to Vegas next week. It's a nice little pit stop. You get to hit the 2 highest paying archery tournaments in the world back to back.
Yeah, that is good. With not a lot of time away from home.
Yeah.
I know we've seen some Estonian archers here as well. People from all over the world came out to this one. So Gellenthien dropped a point.
Yeah, keeping a 1-point advantage right here. At least.
Mm-hmm.
Jyothi's had a lot of success outdoors. I don't think she's shot a ton of indoor archery. There it is. Those warm weather countries just don't do that.
Oh yeah, it's a good point.
Shoot outside.
Yeah, I think it's some of the reason why we see great indoor archers coming from some of the colder climates. The PJ.
Hear about the equipment the archers are shooting here on the big stage. Tell us about your gear.
I shoot Hoyt Invicta, and I have a Shibuya sight, beater rest, and Doinker long short rods.
What's your release? What release you shooting?
2-ball sweet spot.
Sweet spot, and you got 27-12s Easton.
Yes.
All right, great. We will get Tanya's equipment after this next end.
Steve, you're well, as an understatement, you're kind of an arrow guy. You know a lot about arrows. Why do you think it is that we find that in the women's categories for compound and even in women's open pro that we see less 27 diameter arrows and more 25s, maybe even 23 diameter arrows than we would see on the men's side? Is it a U.S. thing or?
No, I think you are starting to see more women shoot the 27 diameter arrow. Inherently, the 27 diameter arrow is a stiffer arrow, and it can be hard for smaller framed archers who aren't really long draw length or shooting a lot of poundage to get it to work well out of the bow. You know, it might be a case of, you know, they have to make an absolutely perfect shot, or their misses get a lot larger than they do with, say, an arrow like a 23. Another good one from Jyothi there. I think we got a tied ball game now.
We certainly do, yeah, because Tanja had a 10.
So, and what's really interesting is a lot of people will not recommend that 27 to women who might be shooting, you know, a 28-inch draw length and 55 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
But a guy will come along with a 28-inch draw length and 55 pounds, and they'll say, you need to shoot this 27.
Yeah.
So it's starting to change a little bit, 10 there for Jyothi. You're starting to see a lot more women who are shooting the largest diameter arrow, the max diameter. For the international people, a lot of them just shoot 23s all the time. So
yeah, because they just don't have tournaments like we do where 27s are allowed, like NFA stuff or this.
Yeah, so they just come over here and, you know, the 23s are shooting good, they keep shooting them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so a little play back and forth. Let's get to VJ.
Run through your equipment for us here. Tell us what you got.
I've got my Magnus TRX 38. I got my B3 target sight, Mini Omega. I got my AE Freak Show rest, my Seeper strings, and my Black Eagle PS27s.
PS27s. All right. I was kind of hoping Braden would encourage you to hit that 12 button on that last one, but no.
Maybe you'll see one.
Gotcha. All right, score is official. 97-96 advantage Tanja, 1 point.
Going into the fourth end. It's close, Steve. I mean, you know, we talked about that 2-point swing at the beginning, and it could be the difference in the end of this one. And they could tie also, and then when we talk about those ties.
Yeah, and you know, we've seen some of the previous matches today where, such as Men's Open, Drew Hortman, rather than go through a standard tiebreaker, he just went for the 12 right off the jump. I think you're going to see more of that, maybe in the men's category, the Open Pro. See what happens here, you know. The one thing that's nice, Tanya's got Braden behind her acting as her coach, and he is very good at understanding numbers and quick with numbers. You know, not that this is the most critical math, but you might get someone in a quick situation where, say, a competitor has a close arrow and you don't know if you need to shoot at the 12 or the 11. Braden's going to be paying attention to, 1, the spot of the competitors, so he knows their score, and then 2, telling her, yeah, shoot the 12, or no, just go for an 11 here.
If you look at the world archery rankings,
just out there for Tanya.
Yeah, just out. Tanja Gellenthien comes in here number 2 in the world in world archery rankings, and Jyothi Vennam number 4 in the world.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about heavy hitters? I mean, this is what we have on stage right now.
At the recent World Championships in Yankton and World Cup Final, Jyothi had a really good week there. Really, I think she was 2nd at World Championships.
Oh,
that is piped.
Yep. Oh,
she's
going for it, Steve.
I think she has to. I didn't see the scenario. I was talking, and
so Jyothi,
I think she has to get this.
Going for that 12.
No, this is for the win.
Yep.
Just off, I believe.
I mean, just off. It's so hard to see. It looks like it's going to be a little low left, but I like the risk.
They're saying
no, they're saying it's a 12?
We need the other angle.
That was for the win.
Braden's getting the other angle. He's spotting it. That isn't a 12.
That's a 12.
Holy
There's no
smokes.
question about it. Wow. We have not seen that. That was an absolute legend move by Vennam. All she needed was an 11 to tie to go to the tiebreaker. She's like, nah, let me just hit the button.
You know what? If you can hit the 11, you can hit the 12, but it's a whole lot easier to aim at that 11.
Especially depending on what's inside your scope.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, some of us run dots that are so big it covers almost all the yellow. That little dot gets lost. It's official. So Jyothi Vennam takes the win and knocks Tanja Gellenthien off in 4th place. So a bit of a shock for Gellenthien.
Yeah, that's the one tough thing. You got the lead, and it can be taken away from you in a pretty gut-wrenching manner. And we just saw it. You know, you think, hey, all right, I just put my 3rd arrow in, a 1-point lead.
I'll get this right one of these days. Ella Gibson is our 2nd place finalist. And she is from the UK. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce that town.
All right, recovering from the shock of just an absolute legend move from Jyothi Vennam to just step up and say, you know what? A tie's not good enough. I'm not going to let this go. One more arrow. I'm going for it. Hero or zero.
Yeah, holy smokes.
That's great.
Now, do you think we'll see anyone start pulling that move 1st end, 2nd end?
Well, see, that's the whole thing. I think it takes someone who's confident to start to set the trend. I mean, the 12 ring is still unknown. You know, people haven't seen many people use it yet. There's been a few that have been successful, a few that haven't. And I think that next year we're going to see people use the 12 ring in a much different strategy.
Yeah, I think a lot of people didn't practice it whatsoever.
I know the smart move would have been to get, you know, to go to Lancaster Archery Supply and get a couple targets sent over. I know I got 20 myself just in case I ever got here. So that was a waste of $20 or whatever it was I spent. But nonetheless, oh, that was so good.
Yeah, she went for it, man. See if she can get back and just get on track right away. See, now she's got the advantage having been up on the stage. Ella has to come in and get zeroed in. That'll do it. She's still hanging in that low area. She's having some hit low left, low right.
Yeah, if I was her coach, I'd probably say grab a couple clicks.
Yeah, take a click. Been there
All right.
enough.
Hey, look, when we say clicks, if anybody's new to archery watching it, what do we mean?
We mean the sight adjustment. So those sights they're using, you might notice a knob. You give it one click and it'll move it on that paper maybe a millimeter or two. It depends on a number of factors there, how much it actually moves your point of impact. But yeah, you grab a little bit. See, they're both on the low side. Ella's 2 arrows have been on the low side. Jyothi was also left on that 11 she shot at, which
11.
She's got another one though, so she needs 2 more clicks.
Definitely. As for this shooter, Ella Gibson, from the UK, how she got involved with archery is some coaches came to their school, and she just decided to give it a try. And now look at Gibson, our second place qualifier, 914 points. She only dropped 10 points to get here, 74 11s. Let's hear from her with PJ.
First off, can you pronounce the town that you're from?
Cirencester.
All right, you did a better job than I did. Have you been to the Classic before?
No, I haven't.
First time here, and you make it to the big stage. How does it feel?
Good, nervous, of course, but otherwise good.
You got a good coach in the back there. She's won this before. What'd she tell you before you came out?
Pretty much just to enjoy it.
To enjoy it. Very good. All right, after our first end, we have Jyothi shot a 33, Ella 31.
And Steve, Ella Gibson, she's been shooting about 10 years or so, but the first 5 years were bare bow, and so she's only been on the compound bow for about 5 years. So,
Well, she's done fine. I think she holds the world record indoor, or she did for a brief period. It got broke a couple
yeah,
times.
in 2019 at a 596 out of 600. Yes, you're absolutely right. Silver at the European Championships. Quite an accomplished archer.
Yeah. 11.
What a legend. What an absolute legend.
Tiebreakers are not for her.
Oh, no.
It looks like she found that side adjustment too. Looks like both of them did there. Back even there with the center of the face.
11.
I mean, Ella, she came out, fired 11-11, then looked like just a bad shot. Maybe lost the tension a little bit and dipped down, shot that 9. Other than that, she's shooting really well, but Jyothi is not giving anything up. She's still perfect.
Words of encouragement from the coach as Ella Gibson goes to full draw.
11.
Spot for spot.
Yep, she's in a position right now. She's going to have to shoot for a 12.
Do you think so? Question is, when do you do it?
I would do it third end. I would figure it out.
Do it third end to try to put some pressure on.
And then if you have to do it fourth end.
2020
Yeah.
Women's Pro Champ Sarah Preels. Tell me about your bow and your setup there.
I'm shooting a Hoyt Invicta 40 with a true ball axle sight, AE rods, and AE rest, and the true ball Blade Pro release 8 and 27s. For me.
They are 27s. Okay. Very good. After 2 ends, we have Jyothi is still perfect at 66 to Ella's 64.
Look at Jyothi. So far clean halfway through this round. We have not seen any archers yet to date as we are in our final 2 matches of competition here for the 2022 Lancaster Archery Classic clean a shoot up round. So
No one's had one yet, huh?
no one's had one. Now we've seen a bunch of 131s from the last round.
Jyothi's still just biting those corners at 5 and 7 o'clock. That is. Yeah, 5 and 7 o'clock.
Yeah, 5 and 7 o'clock.
She's definitely hitting 11s.
Mhm. Look at the fingers, the finger release that Jyothi's using.
Yeah, she's got kind of an interesting grip on there.
Is it just a
just out.
Is it just a 2-finger release that she's got?
I think it's a 3. I think it's a really small 3.
Oh, okay, like
I'm
it's
not
got
sure
something
what
on the
it
backside.
is.
Yeah. I believe Ella's using a thumb button release.
Let's see if we can get a look at that. Yeah, Jyothi doesn't really have. So there's the third finger. Looks like a Carter target 3 maybe, or I don't know what that is.
You can see Ella's thumb went down towards that barrel. Very narrow barrel.
11.
Nice shot.
Yeah, closer to the peg style than the barrel. See, I think they called that first one 11. It might be a 10.
Okay, so we're going to wait for those official calls. But, you know, both these shooters shooting the Hoyt Invicta. And you have experience with that bow, as did Tate Morgan. It seems like that bow can be a very explosive bow on the shot. Like, it just seems like it really, as soon as you release, it starts to accelerate and get that bow off the rest. Is that the experience that you've had with it, or is it just kind of the way some of these shooters have it set up?
I don't know. It might just be their forward push. I mean, I think it's one of the smoothest bows on the shot I've ever had, especially for a target bow. It must be their forward push or stabilizer setup or something like that.
So 2 points advantage for Jyothi Vennam, Ella Gibson. Trying to find an opening to see if the 12 call is going to come into play. You can only call it once per end.
Jyothi's going to dictate that because she shoots a pair of 11s, and Ella's going to have to do it.
11.
There's one. Maintaining pace here.
Yep.
And the leading shooter determines the order, is that right?
Correct.
Okay, another 11 for Jyothi. Yeah, she might just give Ella no chance here.
11.
There we go. So she's going to keep an opportunity here. Now, if Jyothi shoots a 10, Ella's going to shoot at the 11. If Jyothi shoots an 11, Ella's got to go for the 12. Let's hope that someone is telling her that. She's got to go for the 12 here. Yep.
Here's the 12.
That's it. Hits the button. Red light's on. Got it.
Yes.
She nailed it.
Tie game. Shooting order's interesting here. I would want to go second in the last end.
No, is it going to be a 1 point? The official score, I think it's going to be a 1 point game. Yeah, so it'll be a 1 point win for Jyothi. Yeah.
Did we miss something the previous end?
No, you just didn't do good math.
They both had a pair of 11s. Oh, she was, of course.
She was down by 2.
It's only worth one more.
Yeah,
I'm thinking for some reason 12.
12
to the
is 2
10.
points.
Yeah,
100%.
Golly.
You were talking. I was like, I don't know if that's right, but yeah, plenty. There are plenty of people at home going, "What are you guys talking about?" And you're absolutely right. So I like that Ella went for it. Definitely possible she hit it, but a 1 point deficit. So Ella Gibson will finish third. And as Jyothi Vennam said at the beginning of her first match against Tanja Gellenthien, she was going for this win.
All right.
To PJ.
Our first place qualifier from Red Bluff, California, 2020 Vegas champ, Paige Pearce.
So here we go. The Women's Open Pro #1 spot to be 2022 Lancaster Archery Classic champ. Paige Pearce has been on fire, Steve, for literally a couple years now.
Yeah, she's found her game and delivered on all the promise that she showed as a youngster. you know, former youth world champion, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, worked her way up, continued to shoot, always shot, just didn't seem like she shot as much through, you know, end of high school, kids get busy, things like that. And now she's true professional archer and having a really good go at it.
Yeah, represents the United States and on the world archery scene. She's ranked number 8th in the world. We mentioned that Jyothi Vennam is number 4 in the world. We had Tanja Gellenthien, number 2 in the world, get bumped out of this one. And now you're looking at 2 incredible athletes going after it here in
just low.
Pennsylvania.
She started low just like those 2 girls before. So obviously, this is what I was talking about earlier. Stage lighting or just the difference in the practice range in here. You got to find that 0 really quick. So first and most important thing to do, which is also very hard, is come out and make an absolutely perfect shot.
Mm-hmm.
And then adjust your sight from there.
And that is key, though, for that very first shot. If you know that you broke a great shot, have confidence that you've got to adjust that sight.
Little bobble and a long hold here from Paige. 10. She's lucky to get away with the 10 there.
Mm-hmm.
No harm done, really. I mean, you're only giving up 1 point.
It's always that 12, which is 1 point more than 11.
Yeah, we're not going to get caught on that one again. That's interesting. You know, we were both sitting here. See what I mean by you got to have someone down there paying attention. Easy to not do the math right. Mm-hmm. Think about 10, 12.
You've been on the finals?
This is my 3rd.
This is your 3rd time. You've won everything in archery. I think your best finish here is
2nd.
2nd place. All right. You're never nervous.
I'm actually okay. It's not
I
bad.
figured that. All right, welcome back, Paige. Congratulations on a great weekend so far. Our score after the first end is 33 for Jyothi, 31 Paige.
So in attendance for Paige in terms of family members here, of course, her fiance Tate Morgan, who was in the booth with me a little while ago, now in the box as her coach and minder. And of course, her soon-to-be father-in-law, Rob Morgan, who joined me first thing this morning, is also here. You know, and Paige's parents shot as a kid, and so she naturally kind of picked it up and had an interest in it from the beginning. And like you're talking about, Steve, there's always that kind of time. You know, what do you do around those high school age when you start to find other things? And do these archers find their way back? And Paige definitely did. And the last couple of years, she's been on an absolute tear on the world stage and here in the United States.
You know, that's something I always tell people when they ask me. I say, you only get one chance to do high school sports. Take advantage of that.
Mm-hmm.
Do that stuff. You know, involve yourself in that. You know, archery is a lifetime sport. You can still do it, you know, but you don't have to try to chase it like crazy during that time. You know, we saw last night one of the gentlemen in the barebow division, Paul, 79 years old, making the final. That guy was bad to the bone.
100%.
I like that guy.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, and I mean, I talked about on the broadcast last night, Steve, there was one tournament in North Carolina. I stood on the line with a guy who was 97 years old.
Right.
You know, he was pulling back like 21 pounds and didn't care, you know.
So we got Paige here. She's got a pair of 11s. They're both low. She still needs to grab a couple more side clicks. See what this shot looks like. Her 3rd arrow of the last end was a little interesting.
You can see a little bit of nerves
Little
there.
shake there. Shot through it, got an 11.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying that's in. PJ's,
I'm saying that's, yeah.
PJ doesn't have the angle.
Yeah. Yeah. We may not be good at math.
Yeah, I really feel like
Hey, all I'm saying is that Levi Morgan just texted me and said, you guys need math lessons, and I agree with him.
well,
Excel, Freak Show QD, got some Bowmar grip tape, a nose button on there, specialty archery peep, AAE Advantex bars, gas bowstrings.
Paige, you're one of the few archers who runs a V-bar, and you run your bars in a little bit different position than other people, kicking them up. Just give some folks an idea why you do that.
So I run a lot of front weight, and if I ran a single bar, I'd have to run it so close into my bow to keep my bubble level that it doesn't really help with it tipping. So I had to switch to 2 bars to be able to spread them out a little bit to level out that platform for the back weight to counteract the front weight.
Gotcha. All right, there you go. Equipment lesson from one of the best women archers in the world. After 2 ends, we're at Waiting for the final score here.
Okay, so it was changed to a 32 for Paige, so there's a 3-point difference right now. It's Jyothi clean so far again. But yeah, Paige is one of those archers who likes to be able to control her equipment. She likes working on it. She likes to be able to change things and really customize it. She has a very unique aiming style, especially when we get outdoor and how she looks at targets. And if you're ever around her and you want to ask her about it, clear your mind, because it's difficult to understand. But at the end of the day, it works for her. Am I wrong on that?
Yeah, that you're talking the outdoor aiming.
The outdoor aiming, yeah. And, at the bottom of the target this, and I'm like, whatever.
So Paige right here is she's gonna need to shoot at a 12 this end.
Mm-hmm.
So there's another 10. Reset here by Jyothi.
30-second shot clock.
Plenty of time. 11. Yeah,
So worth it.
Paige has got to get a 12 here, and which of course only nets 1 point advantage.
That's correct.
Man, it's so hard to get away from thinking about 10 as the norm, right?
Yeah.
11.
Say first things first, she's got to start getting 11s or it's going to be a runaway.
Mm-hmm.
Jyothi still clean.
Yeah.
11.
That's close.
She's 3 arrows away from a perfect score.
I didn't hit her with the announcer's curse there.
No. So tried.
See, Paige, did she call it? I don't think she did.
No, she didn't. No red light underneath. Which is interesting because
11.
nice shot. If you listen to what Tate had talked about in the booth, Tate was an advocate of being very aggressive, of basically of what Jyothi did, in order to advance to this stage.
Right.
And if you're just joining us and you didn't see what Jyothi did, she was basically even. If she had shot an 11 on her last arrow with Tanja Gellenthien in the first match, she would have been even. Instead, risking it all, hero or zero, she stepped on the button on the stage, calling a 12, and she hit it. And she sat Tanja Gellenthien, and now she's advanced her way right into this first place match. I mean, this is it.
Yeah, Paige right there had the opportunity to make it a 3-point match, which, is still, now you're in reach. At this point, if Jyothi shoots 10-10-10 and Paige shoots 11-11-12,
oh yeah,
then they're tied.
Yep.
But had she hit that 12 previous, she's got that extra point to play with. Now if Jyothi shoots 3 11s, right, it's still over. But it's just, you got to get it a point. You got to get it an end earlier. You got to start when you're down by that much. You got to start breaking that lead down earlier.
If Paige had gone for the 12 in that end, and then that would have started to make Jyothi think as well.
Yeah. Or it tells her, this match is over. If Paige doesn't hit it, then.
Yeah.
But I'm a proponent of going for it.
I agree. I'm a gambler too. I'll roll the dice.
There's 10, but
okay.
It's again, Jyothi's not going to need to do much to finish this one out just because of the lead she's already had.
11. Yes. 11.
Game over.
And a 131 though.
Yeah.
A 131.
Just dropping the 1.
It's unbelievable though. Solid shooting under this pressure.
See if Paige can finish with a 12 for good measure. She got it.
Yeah.
All right, it's a good way. You might not win the match, but that's a good way to go.
100%. It's a tough hit. A smile on her face. Paige has been in this position before. And after official scoring comes in, she'll come in number 2. A nice big hug. And Jyothi Vennam.
Champion.
What a run. What a run from 4th place. She called it. She came, she saw, she conquered. Her first time here, and right before Vegas, what a run for Jyothi Vennam.
Jyothi Vennam, first place, $4,000, plus $2,000 from Hoyt, $600 from Easton, and True Ball contingencies. Jyothi, how does that feel? You come over here your first time, women's pro champ.
I'm happy. I could make it to the finals and I could win this today.
You were deadly up there on that 12. I mean, that saved you. I think it caught some people by surprise. You just stepped on it and hit it.
Thank you.
All right, congratulations, Jyothi. Come on this way.
I'm looking forward to having a conversation with her because I'm going to ask her a little bit of a different question, I think, because, you know, if you look at it, she didn't want to mess around, Steve. She went for it early, and I would think that it kind of built the confidence to get into this match. And a 131 to win it is absolutely impressive.
Yeah, pretty stone cold.
Well, hi, Jyothi. It's Greg. How are you?
I'm good.
Congratulations on your big win. It was awesome shooting a 131 in the last round to win it all. But let's go back to that first round and talk about that 12. Was that a decision that you made on the fly, or was that something that you thought about doing if you ended up in a tie that you didn't want to go to an extra arrow?
I thought of it, and I thought it was the best time to use it because there was no option other than that.
Well, the option would have been to tie, and then you would have had to gone to extra tiebreaker arrows. So It was legendary that you stepped on that and did that, and you called it. You said that you're here to win, and you did it. How do you feel right now?
I'm happy I could win today because this was my first Lancaster Classic, and I'm happy that I could make it to the finals and win it today.
And now, are you saying you're going to Vegas next week?
Yes.
So how's your confidence level right now?
I'm happy with my shooting here, so I just want to continue it there too.
And how much indoor archery do you get to shoot during the course of the year?
I just practiced for about 10 days before coming to here because in India we don't practice indoor archery very much.
Well, you did an outstanding job. Congratulations. You're the Women's Open Pro here at the 2022 Lancaster Archery Classic. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
All right, our coverage will continue as we get to our final match of 2022. It's a hotly contested one, the Open Pro category. Wait till you see who's in this shoot-up. 8 archers on the way. Stay with us.